Well, that's a perfect transition, Joe, into one of the more famous stories in A&M basketball history, which happened in, I think, 1994 in Lubbock. A&M's
No,
playing,
93.
93. A&M's playing Texas Tech, and we win a 1-point, real close game. And this is from my perspective. I want to hear it from your perspective too. But as the players are leaving the stands, some of the Texas Tech fans start yelling obscenities at Coach Baroni. They start yelling obscenities at his son, and then one of them tries to assault Coach Baroni, and that person learned a lesson very quickly, because I think the fan that went after Baroni ended up getting knocked out cold by a guy named Joe Wilbert III. So tell us about from your perspective what that was like.
You know, people have asked me about this story many times, and I tell them the same thing. It was like, I just seen, Brian, I grew up in the era, during the era that if I go somewhere with you, if you get into a fight, I'm in a fight.
Yeah.
I grew up in the era that, hey, if I go somewhere with you and we go eat and I got $5 in my pocket and you got $2 in my pocket, so we put our money together and we eat.
Yeah.
So that's what I felt about my basketball family. And I seen Coach Brown them having a little trouble. So I went over there and I just did what I need to do. And it's so fun. I tell people all the time, I said, that was the first time I ever went to jail.
What?
People don't know. Yeah, people don't know that. Yeah, exactly. People don't know I went to jail for this.
Are you kidding me? No way.
Yes, people don't know this. I went to jail. What happened was, I'm gonna tell a story. The police, so the police came into the locker room with the guy. He said, "That's the one that hit me." So they were trying. So they were trying to make a decision on taking me to jail at the moment or whatever. So we stayed in the locker room for like about an hour after the game, hour and a half.
Yeah.
So we sitting down, so they trying to debate if I'm going to jail or not. So anyways, so we leave. So we leave, and people sitting outside throwing stuff at the bus.
Yeah.
Going to our charter flight that we had. People throwing stuff at the bus and everything. And so, make a long story short, the grand jury looked at it and they assault, called and body injury. So I turned myself. It was after the basketball season. So campus police called me and said, "Hey, Joe, you got a warrant for your arrest." So meet us at the campus police office at 2:00. So me, the police officer from A&M campus, and Coach Roney, and I went to Brazos County. I turned myself in. Judge Langley, I think that was Judge Langley. She was a judge. I stayed in jail for 27 minutes.
Okay.
So I got booked and did the fingerprints and the whole shebang. So I never get. I went up the elevator, and then the detective said, "Now make sure you tell the judge, yes, Your Honor."
Yeah.
So I went up there. I said, "Yes, Your Honor." She said, "Mr. Wilbert, you've been a talk. You know what I'm saying? You've been a talk in my courtroom all day." I said, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "Yeah, yes, Your Honor." She said, "Well, you got a assault, called and body injury in Lubbock, Texas." She said, "By law, I'm supposed to send you back to Lubbock, but I don't think you don't go anywhere. So I'm gonna let you out on a PR bond." And
Yeah.
And to this day, Brian, I still don't know what happened to my case.
Well, I can tell you as a lawyer, and I'm gonna use a technical legal term for everybody to describe this. Okay, what the Lubbock police did to you was complete and total bullshit. Okay, this is a hometown. This is a ridiculous arrest. I mean, literally, the Texas Tech fans should have all been arrested and taken to jail. They were throwing things. They were assaulting the players. And you know what? I have a lot of friends from Texas Tech, but Texas Tech has a reputation. Same thing when they drug the goalpost down and literally threw the goalpost at some of our fans in the stadium. This is the Lubbock Police Department's responsibility. And any police officer who's listening to this that was involved with anything involving Joe, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Looking at I'm serious, man. This pisses me off. I didn't know that
Yeah.
happened. I'm glad it worked out the way it did,
Yeah.
but this was you. This was truly self-defense and defense of the team. And of course, you know, when you're in a small town like Lubbock, sometimes the hometown cooking happens in a way that it shouldn't.